Welcome to Day 4 of the 15th Annual Sylacauga Magical Marble Festival, held here at Central Park, right across from Bluebell Creameries in the beautiful downtown Sylacauga. This event is held April the 11th through the 22nd this year, and we are joined by sculptor Warren Strickland. And Mr. Strickland, where are you from, and how did you get inspired to sculpt? What did you start with?
Well, currently I live in Birmingham, Alabama. We moved down here about 5 years ago from Tennessee. How I got started in sculpting? About 34 years ago. I've always been an artist since I was a little kid, but about 34 years ago we flipped a switch and I started carving small animals in wood. And that's the beginning. We went from wood, small animals, to human busts in wood. Then we did some clay. I migrated into some soapstone and some alabaster. Then for maybe the last 15 or 20 years, I've primarily been a clay artist, sculpting in clay. My work falls under Nera Creations. It ended up being my first name spelled backwards with creations behind it. When I was a little kid, my teacher said, well, you got to learn to sign your stuff. You come up with a sculptor's signature. So I thought, I'll just spell my first name backwards. And that's been my signature since I've been 6 years old.
Well, I think the big question that I ask all the sculptors is, what are you working on this year? Do you have a name for it, the inspiration for it? Just please elaborate about the piece you're working on this year at the 15th Annual Marble Festival.
Well, I tend to challenge myself every time. And I try to always get more complicated and do things I've not done before. This year I'm starting out with a block of stone from AM3 that started at just right at half a ton, about 1,000 pounds. And what I'm going to try to pull out of it is a rendition of a Viking warship, about the first 1/4 of the ship, where the prow of the ship has a figurine in it. This one's going to be a dragon. So we'll have a dragon prow on a Viking ship with some war shields on each side. It'll be sitting in waves at the bottom of the piece, and then on the very front face of the sculpture in the waves, I'm going to put a face of Odin, one of the Norse, well, the all-father of gods in the Norse mythology. At any rate, so the face in the waves, the boat, the dragon prow, the shields, and then I'm leaving a lot of real estate and canvas in the design to put some Celtic design work on the back and the sides of the piece. So it's aggressive, and we'll just have to see how it shapes up.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Mr. Strickland. This is the 4th day of the 15th Annual Sylacauga Magical Marble Festival. Reporting for WOIL and WOTM TV, this is Robert Pearson Jr.